Shinichi Kanu, a high school student, landed a job as an otaku after completing 200 questions correctly in under 10 minutes. His boss loves him, and before talking about the details, he offers him a drink. Shinichi, however, passes out and awakens in a foreign place. He ends up in a room with a maid named Musel Foreign, which freaks him out. She, on the other hand, does not understand what he is saying. They finally comprehend one another when she offers him a ring. Suddenly, another female enters the room and introduces herself as Minori Kaganuma, his bodyguard. She informs him that he is in the Holy Elden Empire's Merino City, a realm teeming with fantastical creatures such as dragons and elves. Shinichi is introduced to Jinzaburo Matoba by Minori. He's the same person that attended Shinichi's employment interview. Matoba clarifies everything. A year ago, a hole was discovered near Fuji Mountain. It was dubbed a hyperdimensional gateway by experts because it went to another realm. The Japanese government formed an alliance with the Elden Empire. Shinichi's mission is to convert everyone in the New World to the Otaku religion. Back on track, the Elden Empire is home to dragons and elves, yet they are severely lacking in entertaining. Shinichi discovers in his room that his maid is a half-elf. She begins to panic as soon as he discovers. Then he meets his other servant, Brooke Darwin, a dragon. After breakfast, Minori takes Shinichi to meet the Supreme Ruler, only to get punched by the Ultimate King when he gets delighted that she's a tiny girl. Our tiny girl is actually a 16-year-old adult who has become enraged and wishes to execute him. Fortunately, he is saved by Matoba, who describes the lowly notion as charming. Petrarca Ann is the name of the young ruler. Her advisor Zakar and her noble warrior Gallius and Koldabar accompany her. Gallius suspicions Shinichi's skill, and Shinichi responds by mouthing back at Gallius. Thankfully, Petrarca enjoys drama, accepts Shinichi's offer to serve as an entertainer for the Empire. This planet and Japan have vastly different cultures. Individuals must wear a unique ring that allows them to understand languages different than their own. Shinichi's next assignment is to choose the greatest otaku items to introduce into this realm. During the day, Shinichi is looking for the greatest manga collection to import. He teaches Musel some Japanese. Shinichi constructs a room packed with comic books and movies in a matter of days. Petrarca pays a visit and instructs Shinichi to read the manga because she is unable to read or speak Japanese. Petrarca eventually starts tormenting Musel. Shinichi intervenes, stops her, and teaches her some Japanese etiquette. Petrarca accepts the lessons but requests that he teach her how to write and read Japanese. Shinichi makes the choice to construct a school where royal and low-status children can learn. Minori warns Shinichi not to get too entangled in this world. Shinichi, on the other hand, enjoys his new existence and wishes to bring equality to this universe. Meanwhile, Petrarca has begun to be drawn to Shinichi's distinct personality. She, on the other hand, despises his compassion to Musel. She seemed to be envious. The school is finished in just 20 days thanks to the assistance of royal forces. Sadly, several invaders break in and kidnap Shinichi and others. The invaders are members of a minority group. They have a strong magical weapon capable of destroying the entire school. Shinichi, they feel, is attempting to destroy their heritage and culture. They want to put an end to it by assassinating Shinichi and the supreme ruler who permitted it. Shinichi, on the other hand, has a plan. As his phone begins ringing, he creates an excuse to take him to the restroom. Mobile phones are not known to the invaders. They get afraid and retreat. In the meantime, Minori escapes and assaults the invaders. Musel defeats the intruders using her magical abilities. One of the invaders, however, throws a knife at Petrarca. Musel steps forward and took the hit for her. Petrarca can't believe Musel helped her after she had been abused. Petrarca goes above and above to rescue Musel's life. Musel casts her magic card, Change of Heart, as anticipated. Musel wakes and progressively heals once he is no longer under danger. It has been a month since the establishment of the school where students of all races learn together. Shinichi and Minori are excellent teachers. They teach the fundamental terminology and phrases found in manga and anime. Shinichi, on the other hand, does not wish to annihilate the realm's culture, as he is still unaware of Japan's government's genuine intentions regarding this initiative. A humanoid is discovered near Shinichi's mansion. It turns out to be a half-wolf named Elbia Haneman. She describes herself as an artist. Minori, on the other hand, accuses Elbia of being a spy and wishes to steal information. Shinichi feels the contrary and does not want Elbia to suffer. As a result, he persuades Petrarca to make Elbia Shinichi's personal artist. This may help him promote the otaku culture. Shinichi is now settling into his new life, enjoying the dream life with other races. Simultaneously, he is propagating the otaku ways. Shinichi is eating supper when he notices Elbia hasn't arrived. He's going to invite Elbia. Shinichi discovers her making eerie drawings with strange expressions. He begins to wonder if she is indeed a spy. Also, her conduct is becoming increasingly suspect. Yet he's still content since everyone is turning into an otaku. In addition, the interaction between races has improved. till one day he considers returning. At the same time, he wants to bring his elf companion. Shinichi awakens in the middle of the night to find Elbia in his bed. He discovers that she desires genetic knowledge. Every day, the number of pupils grows. However, is a distant dream with tensions between the elves and the dwarfs. Shinichi recommends that the elves and dwarfs have a friendly soccer match, something he believes will help students create positive relationships. While playing soccer, both teams employ their magical abilities. But instead of being a match, the game swiftly devolves into a conflict. The crowd, on the other hand, observes Petrarca and Musil playing soccer in a nice manner. As a result, the elves and dwarfs regard each other more amicably, demonstrating Shinichi's efforts to reduce prejudice. But there's a problem. Metoba doesn't know enough about anime. As a result, he is unable to deliver the specific books and movies that Shinichi requests. A list written in Japanese must be difficult to read for a Japanese person. Shinichi desires a trip to Japan so that he may buy a loan. He also requests Musil's presence. Matoba, on the other hand, claims that she is unable to breathe and will perish on Earth. Shinichi gets kidnapped while he is sleeping. Shinichi awakens the next morning in his Japanese bedroom. Suddenly, he discovers the additional luggage he has with him, only to discover Musil hidden within the package. Remarkably, she can breathe normally. Matoba lied to him. Shinichi lends Musil a hat to conceal her ears, and brings her around the entire city. Everything she sees interests her. Everyday items like buses, trains, and vending machines have a unique meaning for Musil. She had only seen them in the comic Shinichi brought. Shinichi awakens in the Elden Kingdom the next morning. He had forgotten why he was in Japan. The ultimate ruler has abruptly departed, and everyone in the kingdom is seeking for her. Shinichi discovers her dozing in the storage. The following day, she locks herself in her room and refuses to contact anybody. Gallius informs Shinichi that Petrarca rose to power at an early age, all because Gala's parents murdered her parents. Petrarca's mental health is affected by this event. Shinichi accepts responsibility for bringing Petrarca back. So rather than pressuring her to come out, Shinichi lets Petrarca have some alone time. He'll be playing video games and reading comics, just like he used to. Shinichi also explains why he became alone. He simply wanted to be alone and away from everyone. At first, it felt pleasant and cozy. Nonetheless, the room began to seem heavier with time, because he can never escape his obligations. Petrarca comprehends him. The next morning, she resumes her typical routine. Musil has started working at school as a teacher. Matoba advises taking a vacation. Shinichi wants to go to the beach with all of his buddies during this vacation. This journey also includes Musil, Minori, and Elbia. Kids had a great time playing in the water and sitting out in the sun. Shinichi is having lunch with the girls when one of their elf pupils, Loic, interrupts them, who informs you that Romilda has been kidnapped. These two had come together to see their sensei Minori at the beach, but were attacked by someone hiding in a bush. Minori takes the responsibility to get back Romilda, and others willingly join her too. While searching through the forest, Elbia finds several men wearing the ghillie suit. She takes down a few men while others try to escape. Finally, Minori catches them and asks them to reveal their identity. They turn out to be soldiers from the Japanese defense team, who came here to protect them, but their main goal is to spy on the girls. As a cultured man, Matoba informs them when they return that some footage has been leaked to Japan. The government is concerned that their secret would be discovered. Shinichi suddenly comes up with a brilliant solution to the problem. In the Elden Empire, he decides to film a fantasy short film, and that the footage that was made public was really part of this short film. The shooting begins. The primary character is Petrarca. Shinichi wishes to increase her self-esteem and let her to fully express herself, because, as you know, she is lacking in what is truly important. Minori learns about a dragon they've been seeking for a long time. Minori catches the dragon with the help of a dragon tamer named Luna. The next day, they plan to stage a scenario using a dummy dragon. Nevertheless, the genuine dragon escapes from its prison and joins the filming crew. It's risky, yet they don't require special effects any longer. Both the Elden Empire and Japan have distributed the short film, addressing the problem of leaking footage while also making a profit. The religion soon gains popularity. Individuals began cosplaying and publishing light novels. With such rapid growth, the present supply of manga is rapidly depleting. Furthermore, this reading habit is turning into an addiction. Eldentions neglect their work and health in order to read more comics. Shinichi wonders why there is a scarcity of manga and anime, just to find out that that was the Japanese government's true strategy. That was a list of the top 10 anime betrayals. They sought to instill otaku culture throughout the Elden Kingdom. As a result, they might be obliged to meet Japan's government's wishes in return for content. It was impossible to attack this magical dominion with either military or economic means. As a result, Japan decided to infiltrate the otaku society. Shinichi had no idea he had become the forefront of the cultural invasion. Matoba informs Shinichi that if he interferes with the government's intentions, he will be murdered. That is why he was selected. But if he vanishes, no one will notice. Shinichi has experienced severe trauma. Minori tries to persuade him that Japan is only interested in exchanging anime items for rare minerals. Yet Shinichi refuses to tolerate himself being used confused in this way. He closes his eyes once again because he can no longer deal with the issue. How many times can this guy be depressed in a single episode? Yet Musil feels he is not an intruder. His otaku culture has resulted in several beneficial developments, even reduced racial prejudice on a large scale. These were the words Shinichi needed to hear. The next day, Shinichi travels to see the Supreme Ruler. He suggests that the Elden Empire has a large number of brilliant young people. As a result, people may create their own comics without relying on the Japanese government. Matoba, on the other hand, is opposed to the proposal since it undermines the entire government agenda. Japanese troops attempt to murder Shinichi that night. Shinichi, fortunately, had previously taken preventative precautions. When the event is reported to the Supreme Monarch, she summons Matoba. Matoba, on the other hand, denies culpability and claims he was unaware of the situation. For a while after these raids, the Elden Empire was at peace. Over the previous few days, Japan's supply had been spot on. They also threw in some pricey limited edition manga. The Bahelm Kingdom is said to have suddenly attacked the Elden Palace one day. A plume of smoke can be seen emerging from the school. Shinichi recalls leaving his favorite manga's limited edition at school. He rushes to save it, followed by Musil and Elbia. He arrives at school only to discover that Japan has plans to get rid of him. He is knocked out by the troops, and then abandon him in the burning school building. Musil locates Shinichi and surrounds him with a magical shield of protection. He gave her a purpose to live, and Musil can't bear the thought of losing him. Minori revolts against the Japanese defense forces and comes to Shinichi's aid. She takes him out in time, saving his life. After recuperating, Shinichi demands that Matoba allow him to speak with higher-ranking government officials. Shinichi should return, the officer recommends. Yet Shinichi suspects that the administration has already arranged his demise. Meanwhile, she is aided by her unique owls. Petralka overheard this exchange. She appears by herself and threatens to terminate the deal. The Japanese government is now under pressure to accept her requests. Finally, Shinichi is liberated and free to work alongside his favorite people. Japan has reduced its budget, yet they let Shinichi keep his work since it pays well. Petralka ensures his protection by designating Shinichi as an important person in her life. Shinichi may resume his courses now that the school has been repaired. Shinichi's efforts in his passion of manga and anime are now paying off. Thanks for watching. Please make sure to subscribe and watch my other videos if you're into my content.